this is probably going to be a silly chit chat, and I don't know if I'm going to throw it into a membership video or not. I hope you guys kind of find this interesting, but I've always had this like overwhelming urge, desire, need, overwhelming to redesign some of the NFL cheerleaders' uniforms. Overwhelming urge to do this. I don't know who is in charge of some of these uniforms, and it just makes me so sad for these girls. And I thought maybe I could share with you guys like how I would do it. Obviously, I'm not like an artist. I'm not good at drawing, but like in my head, I've got ideas. And I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders fan. Like, I know all the girls' names. Like, I've known all the girls' names for like teams and teams and teams and teams before. Started becoming a really huge fan when they had their own TV show, Making the Team, which was on the Country Music TV channel, prior to them now having a different TV show called America's Sweethearts, which is on Netflix. But most people don't know they've always had their own TV show for like over 10 something years. It was a long time. But anyways, so I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders fan. And I mean, let's be honest, they have the most iconic uniforms. I mean, I don't know that that's biased per se. It is so iconic. When you see it, you know exactly. And there's nothing on their uniforms that says Dallas Cowboys on it. Like, there's no logo. They're just the star, right, in the sense. And so I just feel like, these other teams need just better uniforms. And so I thought I'd tell you guys what I think. And I do have several teams that I wouldn't change their uniform. Not many, only a couple. And then I wanted to like kind of redesign some of the team's uniforms. And then you can tell me if you're from that state and if you agree with like my thoughts and all of that. And I don't know, maybe you're gonna find this interesting. So we're gonna make this like a chatty video. Also, I just feel like I need to talk about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders real quick before we get into that. Kashera is my favorite point of all time. She wasn't even the best dancer, but she had the it factor, and that's what the point should be. Now, the point should be like the full package, but the it factor has to be there or you cannot be point, and that's just my opinion. Kashera was, I get chills when I think about her. She was not too long ago either, and she is now the Miami Dolphins head cheer coach. So we're gonna get some DCC-ness, if you will, probably out of the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. So I'm really happy about that. And obviously, the Miami Dolphins do not need to be the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the precision and the coaching of being more precise and being, like, I feel like, whatever. Okay. So Kashera was actually the last point where she was point the entire game. It was after she retired that they started splitting the point into two girls. So one girl at the first part at Thunderstruck, and then a second girl comes in for the second point. So if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I actually called who the points were going to be. I said it was going to be Megan and it was going to be Kelly. And they are fifth-year veterans, and to be point, you do have to be like a fourth or a fifth year or even a sixth year veteran. Most girls don't stay a sixth year. So there's that. Shandi was also my second favorite. Shandi I love so much. For whatever reason, I feel emotionally tied to Shandi, which makes no freaking sense. But like, do you have that, like, where you watch someone you don't know on screen and you just like get emotional about them, but you can't explain it? They didn't do like one thing in particular, and I've always felt this way about Shandi. Even before I knew any of her personal life that was shown on the Netflix TV show, like, I've always felt very drawn to Shandi. And I saw her the other day on social media. She was back in her uniform because she's now an all-star. And I almost started crying, which is so ridiculous. But Shandi is my second favorite. Now, Shandi, I think, has like a silent spoken it factor. While Kashera was very electric, Shandi still had the it factor to me, but she was more sensual and more girl next door. And I just loved her for point. I waited so long for her to be point. It was unreal. But anyways, and I will say what I feel like this might be controversial, but Kelsey became so popular because that's when the Netflix show first came out and she was the point. So everybody was like, Kelsey, Kelsey, Kelsey. But I'm just like, oh, these people don't know about Kashera. She was great. She was beautiful. And by the way, I think every girl's phenomenal. I love every girl. I'm just talking about point specifically and how I feel like it should be this like, wow factor. Like she has something so special that like your eyes just like beeline for that person, you know? Kelsey didn't have it for me. She was just a little, like her energy was a little more soft. And I just didn't think she was a point girl personally. Claire was point material all the way. The moment Claire first tried out for the team, I knew immediately she was going to be point one day. And so Claire, I do think, had the it factor. Like Rachel, for example, she was very iconic because she had the long blonde hair. She's arguably probably one of the most beautiful Dallas Cowboys cheerleader to ever be on the team. And I love her, but she was not point to me. Like she just was the energy was not there for me per se. Who I want to be point in the next couple of years. Camille is so slept on, and I do think she needs a little something extra, like a little pep in her step, but she is magnetic to me and she needs to be point, and I'm hoping she's gonna be point. Kylie's so gorgeous, and I think she would be a great point. I think a lot of people are saying that Sophie's gonna be point. I haven't seen anybody that is quite as powerful as Kashera, Claire. Those are probably some of the best points that we've had in a really long time. But obviously they're gorgeous and I couldn't hold a candle to them. So I'm just talking about point specifically. I think they're all gorgeous and I agree that they all should have made the team. I think every single one of them is just fabulous. Camille is everything. She better be point. She better freaking be point. Oh, you know who else? McKenna. I feel a lot of people are going to want to see her be point because she's the brown-haired, blue-eyed beauty. I totally could see that. Now let me talk about the NFL cheer uniforms that I think are perfect and they don't need to be changed at all. And they stand well on their own. And I feel like nobody really talks about their uniform because they have two different uniforms, which is kind of different from DCC. DCC has this iconic uniform. Now, obviously they have other uniforms that they perform in, like at the Star, they do like the Christmas spectacle thing, and they have like the glow up uniform. They have the Santa uniform, which is really cute, but obviously they only have one traditional uniform that they wear to every single game. But the Denver Broncos, their uniforms are spectacular. And I'm like, why is nobody talking about them? Spectacular. And what's funny is that they're in the same realm, right, as the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, right? Because their mascot is the Cowboys and then the Denver Broncos is a Bronco. So Wild West, if you will, kind of concept. And the Denver Broncos cheerleaders uniforms, especially the ones where they wear the chaps. Stop it. And it's so unique. They're not the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. They are their own team with their own look, and it's everything. Like, if let's just say in another universe, if I was going to be an NFL cheerleader and I'm just gonna say this outright, like I would do it for the uniform. I would want to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader and I would want to be a Denver Broncos cheerleader. I would want to make those teams and like know what it feels like to wear that uniform, 100%. And the Denver Broncos are working with some really hard colors. They're working with orange and navy. That's rough. And they still made it absolutely everything. So they have, you know, one uniform where it's like the bra, the long sleeve top with the vest, which is leather. Then they have the little white skirt with the blue fringe and the orange detail. And they have the orange palms. It's looking like they sometimes also have like navy palms, but the chaps, ladies, I just know they gotta love that uniform. And then their boots. That's another thing I've noticed. A lot of these cheer teams, half their problem are their shoes. And I have to imagine, maybe this is just me, I have to imagine, is some of this maybe related to DCC? Is it like they're wanting to be different and they don't want to be like compared per se? But a lot of them have like the white boots and that concept. But the Denver Broncos have the little stirrup that goes over it. And I'm like, that is so genius. And oh, I love when they wear the white palms too. Like everything. And then the belt buckle has the horse. Now I could have done without. On this uniform, I would have left just the horse on the belt buckle. I would not have added the horse to the vest as well. Like one place, keep it simple, keep it iconic. You don't need to over brand. You know what I mean? Like I really don't think they needed the horse on the vest, in my opinion. I think in the buckle is everything. But other than that, no notes. Absolutely no. I will say though, it looks like when they wear their chaps, the same top is the top that they wear with the skirt is the same for the chaps. So I would have liked to see a different top and a different vest, honestly. Like I would have gone with an all white vest with maybe like blue fringe instead, and then done the orange top and maybe done fringe on the top as well for that one, because they've got fringe going down on the chaps, and I think it would have been cute to add a little bit more fringe to the top part. But other than that, again, zero notes. The Denver Broncos slay all day, every day in their uniforms, and there's not. The second team that I think their uniforms are great, I wouldn't necessarily say I wouldn't change anything about it, but I will say they are really good. And I wouldn't put it past Kashera, now that she's the coach, to start changing things. And I bet you she will. I bet you she is going to figure out the most iconic uniforms for them. The thing about Miami Dolphins is they actually have quite a lot of uniforms. My favorite is their little calf booty. And they have one that's like all white. Love that. And they have one that is like teal and orange, which that one's interesting. I would retire that one. I don't think I like that one at all, to be honest. And then they have like the white go-go boot. So not a cowboy boot, but a go-go boot. What these teams need to kind of dive into and just accept is that these uniforms should be costumes. They 100% need to be costumes. And right now, they're not thinking that way. They're not thinking out of the box. And so what they're putting half of these girls in the NFL is in like just some standard, like, you know how there's like a standard look for like yoga or Pilates, or there's a standard look for ballerinas. Like I think that's what they're doing with the NFL cheerleaders. Everybody's got to wear a little crop top and a little skirt or a little shorts and the boots. And it's like, no, No. Let's go back to the Denver Broncos and they're wearing chaps. Okay? That is a costume because their mascot is a bronco. It's a horse. And they're riding that bronco, they're riding that horse, and they wear leather chaps and vests, and like that's what they're going for. I need to see these teams go, you know what, we need to be in costume. A perfect example will be the Ravens. I'm going to talk about the Ravens later. Atlanta has one of the worst costumes. Seattle. But let's start off with making over the Houston Texans. This could be a multiple part. Let's talk about them because they also need help. To me, they're leaning too New England Patriots. And I love that they're like, you know what, let's do a red go-go boot. Let's do that. I love that they were starting to think outside the box, but then they still kept them in this like workout gear. You know, these long crop tops, the little shorts. Why does everything have to show the full body? Like you can still be in a great uniform and be sexy, but like, does it have to be a two-piece? Does it have to be? Because here's what I would do for the Houston Texans, okay? Are you ready? Okay. So, I got a couple options, and this also applies to the Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders. So, I feel like we'll get to them after, because we're going to redo their outfits too. Now, their outfits aren't too bad either. Like, if they never changed it, I'm like, okay, they got something going on here. Theirs isn't too bad either. They have the same colors that the Dallas Cowboys have, but they still stand on their own. And the boots are cute because they're the ones with the fringe on the boot. But again, let's circle back to the Texans. So we need to start thinking costume. So their mascot is a toro. Okay. But what is so confusing to me is why isn't the mascot named the Houston Toros? What does Texans mean? Because when I think Texan, I think of another kind of name for a cowboy. So that really throws me off. So the Texans are very confusing for me because I feel like it should just be like, this is going to be a two-part answer. Are they the Toros or are they like a Texan that's like more of a cowboy? Which I don't think they are, okay? But I think they should have been named themselves the Houston Texans and the mascot should have been I get it. They're not going to be a cowboy because the same state already has the Dallas Cowboys, but if they were to more so align with the Toros, then my first thought is Matador. I want to see these ladies in the most gorgeous, they could do a gorgeous detailed little coat, like a crop coat, because they seem to like the crop tops. You know, the one with all the intricate detail that the Matadors wear, and then they wear those pants with the high socks. We need to be playing off of that. And there is like, I would love to see something like this picture, but maybe in like showing more skin, because like, let's face it, that's what they all want to do. They don't want to be covered head to toe per se. And so I think a cute crop jacket with the fringe, or even that detailed I talk about with the bra kind of coming in. I think the jacket would be cool to be red, because red is that signature, like, you know, where they hold it up for the Bulls. So I think they should be a red and not a navy. And I think that the bra could be navy with like white detail, and there should be fringe of some sort, and then the bottom should also match. Should be, I think, a high-waisted short, kind of like how she's wearing, but it being like short on the booty with tassels. That would be cute. And then they could go for like, I would do a half booty, kind of how the Miami Dolphins have it, to be honest. Like, now Matadors have the sock thing, and they could kind of play off of that, although I don't think you need to fully play. When I think of costume, I think of costumes but with limits in a sense, and I think they could definitely do that. Now this photo of this girl, she kind of has like a gathered skirt concept. That's really cute too, because they could wear like little shorts under it, and they could always like remove the skirt and do like a little matador for like maybe a touchdown dance. I don't know, like that could be freaking cute, right? So I definitely, wait, where did that photo go? Because I need to like, so like, what are they doing in this other uniform? That makes no sense. It's just like so that you can dance in it. It's like, it looks like practice wear. Does that make sense? It doesn't look like you're coming here to entertain your fans that are like Houston Texans. And like, you know, that's the mascot. That's the thing. Like, come on, give us something with these uniforms. Like, you could stand out so well on your own apart from any other team because you have something so unique. And I really think they need to go in that realm. But also, like, I don't understand why their name is the Texans instead of the Toros, but like, whatever. Hi, editing me here. I'm watching myself back, and honestly, the only reason why I'm even gonna keep these clips in is because I truly have always wanted to talk about this. I get super passionate when I talk about the Dallas Cowboys too. But truly, again, who am I? They're fabulous. I can't even like get a finger to bend in any way that they can. And I don't know, I just really love talking about the NFL cheerleaders. I think they all have so much potential, and some of these uniforms, like, whoa, we gotta admit, some of them are pretty bad, and these girls deserve so much better. Anyways, I guess I only recorded me talking about the Houston Texans, but if you want me to keep doing this, comment your teams, and I will do them in, I guess, an upcoming video. No, we should get the baby one. I like this one.
And children can't fit in it. It means that is cute. Wait, are these little pins? Stop. Oh, party favors. It's okay. It's not like...
Let's just try it. Yeah. All right. Loki's at the door, salivating as per usual. And I know this is gross, but I promise you, I've dealt with this for so long. It's better on my hands for me to wash off than for me to have to scrape it up off the floor, because I'd be doing it all the time. All right, I'm gonna turn down Scooby-Doo and got some things over here. We got Micah a new shower curtain liner, and then these toilet wands. These are so good. Highly recommend these. You keep them like, or at least I keep them next to the toilets. Like this caddy comes with everything, and then the refills, so good. So went to HEB for the first time, and we got ourselves some really cute flowers. Look at them. We got two. So we got baby's breath and then these little daisies. And we put them together, super cute. Micah put away all her groceries, and then I got mine. I'll kind of show you guys what I got. I got this chicken Alfredo, which I'm gonna go ahead and pull out because I'm gonna try it tonight. So I'm very excited about the HEB meals because they also have like these for like one person, you know, instead of like always like family size stuff. And then in here, how was like my total was $150. I'm like, how? But $11 of it was this butter, and I was like, I have to try this Amish country rolled butter, salted Wisconsin grade A. This is kosher, made with milk from cows not treated with RBST, gluten-free. I also got these cheeses in these little boxes. I got, wait, this can't be it. The rest of what you're seeing is from Walmart, because I also had my Walmart order delivered. But what else did I get from? Oh, I also got these kolaches. So I got those. And let's go to the pantry. I also got some peaches. The rest of the fruit came from Walmart. And I got this seaweed, the sea salt. I eat this when I make my fish. And then I got this pasta, which I'm really, really excited to try. So it was imported from Italy. So I'm hoping that, you know, it's not gonna like, the gluten isn't gonna like hurt my stomach. Because when you do eat in Italy, your stomach doesn't bloat from pizza and pasta over there because their ingredients are just fresh. There's no preservatives because they don't have a shelf life, if that makes sense. So we're gonna try this brand out and see how well I like it. Loki got stuff too. I think I'm gonna eventually replace this broth and do this broth, although I'm gonna look back on Thrive because I love Thrive. Not sponsored. I genuinely love Thrive Market. And honestly, I wish they would sponsor me again, but they had a broth I was using for Loki, and I want to price compare to this one that I found at HEB. And then I got Loki this chicken jerky, and then I also got him this I need to also look up this brand, Heritage Ranch. I want to see if I want to use them in Loki's food or not. But I also really, really want to take Loki on the raw diet. Like, but that is a whole ordeal. Like, if I were to ever go away, nobody's really going to want to feed him a raw diet. The most bizarre thing is like going on with this leg. Like, my calf muscle hurts. Ever since I've been going to chiropractor, like, my sciatic is done hurting, but then other parts of you start hurting because your sciatic isn't where like the original issue started, right? It's other areas. And then you finally felt it here. So it's like, as they're adjusting me, you know, like other areas are kind of like, he took it, finally. I don't know if he's gonna, I don't think he's gonna like these. He's not a fan of fish. He loves his chicken though. But anyways, I have unlocked a new paint element in my, it's like in my T's. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is your C's, T's, L's, but my T's are hurting. And I have a headache. I've been like hitting a wall, you know, for like being so tired. Sometimes my body goes through this. Like, I'll hit like a week where every day at a certain time, like, dead. Like, I have to sleep even if I don't want to, because I do not like naps. But I'm like, I'm trying to fight it so hard. Or I have a headache because I haven't drank any water. And all I've had is like ginger ale and Sprite.
The baby.
Don't even think about it, Loki.
See their little white tails. I like the look of these two houses next to each other with the lighting. Do you see it?